Hello friends, welcome back to Ash of Gods Redemption. We are still in chapter 6. We failed to rescue Thorn Brenin's son, and we are now we have just switched to Lo Pheng. We have a bunch of conversations. We also have to level up. Okay, we have 2 levels. All right. Okay, 1 skill point with read. 2 skill points with Bola. One skill point with Candy. One with Swati. Dume. Roar. 2 skill points with Roar. Kama, 1 skill point with Kama.
Oh!
Alus. Let's upgrade your healing skill to the max. And that's about it. The redhead doesn't avoid the others but rarely seeks company. Are all Chimera like that? Why are you always alone? Do the Chimera avoid befriending foreigners? Do icons befriend foreigners? In any case, I'm never truly alone. My tribe and my step are always with me. So the Chimera resemble Ansers in many ways. How can you say that? The Ansers aren't a tribe, they're warriors. Skilled or not, you should treat them as such, even if they're vagrants who serve evil. How did you tame them? Harga did it. The matriarch of my clan, she knew the Ansers' language and spoke to them. Those who didn't understand or wouldn't listen, she killed. The rest she saved, if only for a short while. Few Ansers can survive a reaping, though they don't always appear during reap time. They were around long enough to bring the Chimera into being. Are there women among the Ansers? Did anyone fancy the masked strangers? How did it happen? That's the heart of the matter, Icon. No one fancied them, but Harga had a special skill. She possessed women's bodies and forced them to take the Answer's seed. It's a grim story, but the Chimera wouldn't be here otherwise. Neither would I. Where are the Chimeran cities and villages located? I wouldn't tell you even if they existed, which they don't. We have our hideaways, and the ghost town of Donut accepts us from time to time, but our true home is the steppe, our ceiling the blue sky. Our houses are covered wagons, ready to travel again in a matter of minutes. So just like gypsies. What makes you restless? You've come by the nickname before. Some people call the Chimera restless nomads. We're restless because we're waiting for the end of the world. Our tribe mother, Harga, predicted it, and the past reapings signal the same. Why worry about things beyond your control? Why live in the shadow of a 700-year-old prophecy? The reaping may flay this world, but can do no worse. This is the third reaping icon. According to the prophecy, what's come twice shall come again. What's come thrice is done for good. I also believe that there is nothing a man can't do. Where is the matriarch of your clan buried? In no particular spot, though I know where you're going with this. Harga possessed other women's bodies to bear the ancestors' children. She who can possess others can live forever. Yet immortality eluded Harga. Even so, she never received a burial. How did she die? She was one of the 12 who forfeited their lives in the drowsy deep 700 years ago. She cast a spell on herself and turned to stone, then crumbled to ash. All who visit the place walk on her flesh. I see. Our chronicles say that 12 broke the circle of mortal vanity and embraced non-existence. The power they released nearly tore Terminum in half. You're not going back to your family, are you? You might say that I've already seen my family and am now going where I want, where I ought to. Want to or ought to? We'll find out soon enough, Icon. There are no obvious answers. It's what I've been contemplating. I have no further questions. Come talk to me when you have more. As the Kimran saying goes, weaving words isn't like driving herds. Okay, let's check out Kama, the answer. Will the answer ever take off his mask? There must be a way to get rid of it. When will you remove your mask? When its power releases me. Do you remember your home? Thinking of my home is more painful than remembering my lost world. I don't want to hurt you. Even pain has its limits. When you put on a mask, you must be cleansed. You arrive at your house with other warriors. You burn the place down, you kill. Your mother recognizes you among the killers and calls out your name. But you're no longer you. Did the gods force you to do such things? The Reapers, they insisted that we are doing our loved ones a favor. They even called it love. Did the gods destroy your world? Even behind the veil of madness, I pondered that, and she Reaper's beautiful words, which flowed like a mountain brook. She said that gods are like humans. What do you mean? Ask her when you see a delicate shadow wielding immense power. A light bow will be slung over her shoulder, and not even a band of warriors will be strong enough to draw it. Do not attempt to sweep aside the black tresses covering her face. There is only death underneath. How many Reapers have you seen? I saw 5 of them, though 3 were mere shadows. They cannot assume physical forms in several places at once. But the Umbra are numerous, and any one of them can become a Reaper. Good talk, Kama. Here's my advice. When you've got time, warrior, find peace in your heart. My heart is a desert where peace cannot be found. Alus is hiding something, a vandal from Frisia, a monk far from home all by himself. You were on a pilgrimage, weren't you, Alus? Why were you alone? Were your companions killed? Frisian monks don't normally travel alone when not in Frisia. Unless they're punished. My penance is to visit 10 different menhirs and spill my blood on each. It's punishment for expressing my impure inclinations. So how many menhirs have you already visited? Just the triple menhir. It counts as one as far as I'm concerned. The menhirs in Frisia don't count. You'd be on the road for a while. At least a year. There's just the triple menhir before the Vandal Forest and the reclining one. Then there's the water menhir. The dead menhir in Opacum doesn't count, so I have to go as far as Ursus. The pains people take to earn forgiveness. You can always choose to starve to death in prison. The primarch of our temple promises that will grant you privileges when you reach the god's altar. Why did you become a monk? It wasn't by choice. My parents handed me over in lieu of paying the temple tithe. They had no choice. Vandals have difficult lives in Frisia. Despite all the hardship, I'm not complaining. I don't see a collar around your neck. Did you know that no Frisian monks are orphans? You want to know why? If I run away, my entire family ends up facing the executioner. How soon until the Primarch of your temple tires of waiting and dispatches guards to your family home? How will you prove that you've made a pilgrimage and didn't just spend the time relaxing in some Berkanan widow's house? Within a year, I must return from one of the Berkanan temples with proof of my pilgrimage. Don't be surprised, various temples still communicate, even when Berkana and Frisia are at war. The temple is steadfast. Are you hiding anything from me? Do you want the details? Once a month, they bring young women to the temple to help the monks release the tension in their loins. I personally wasn't interested in the female body, which vexed the Primarch. Is he strict? I could have won forgiveness. All I had to do was go to his cell and commit the very sin he'd accused me of. Oh, wow! Why didn't you do it? Wasn't he your mentor? I'll answer your question, though I expect you've only asked it to mock me. I don't know your temple's customs, but my fellow acolytes could seek the Primarch's favors, even the ones who preferred women. My friend's death is his fault, and I would never sink to that level, however. Well, pray that the gods grant us luck when you have time. What do you ask for when you pray? I pray to strengthen my resolve. My ancestors, Vandal shamans, disapproved of asking the gods for anything a man can achieve on his own. Wow, Albus. Dume, the Frisian picks pebbles from the road. Some he tosses back, others he keeps. What are they for? Why are you collecting pebbles from the road, Dume? That's for curiosity's sake. These are rich lands. They only ever mined silver here in the foothills of the Silver Mountains. But the sparkling gray stone is galena. That orange one is iron ore. This one's coal, the soft kind. You know about this too? I'm savvy, you know. I've got an eye for detail. When learning different trades, I examine the skills I learned from every side. Not to brag, but the crew of the Godin ferry was rather upset when I got transferred to repair the machine in the Gillian tunnel. You'll be fine in Berkana then. It's still a long way to Berkana. We'll see what happens. I doubt there's work to be found during grip time. I'm wondering what to look for, a woodcutter's axe or a stonemason's hammer. Choose the sword, Dume. You can't go wrong with the sword. There are other wonders you served in the army, didn't you, Dume? So what? We were all bound to service. We were fed, issued a sword and armor, and handed over to a commander. Yes, I served, but I wasn't in the thick of things. What was in the thick of it? The Battle of Bal. The Vandals fought bravely. They held the northern bastions even when they had nothing left. The temple servants promised to spare their lives if they surrendered, but they lied. They showered the Vandals with arrows and sword blows. Thousands of black warriors. There are other wonders in the Great Abyss. Everyone knows it. There are exposed gold veins, but there's also poison. Vapors, you know. From above you see gold surrounded by corpses. Some held cloth over their mouth. Others wore sacks or glass jars on their heads. All just useless gimmicks. Why don't you think up a solution? I tinkered with one idea. You'd need to set up a crane with a pincer that folds its jaws together when lifted. That will help you pull something out. You'd need a really strong rope though, and preferably no arrows stuck in your back. Forging such a pincer isn't a problem. You'd have to wait with your pincer until after the reaping ends. Maybe we'll chat later. I want you to know that I hope you reach Berkana, Dume. You're funny, Icon. I didn't think you hope for anything. I guess I'll make it then, if I'm lucky. Sorti is one of the few people who's always busy. Even when camping, she's mending her clothes or checking her bowstring. I notice you're mending clothes. You're good with a needle? Do you think women like me are only good in bed? Everyone makes a living the best way they can. Oh yes, you'll toil and bend over backwards to keep yourself fed. If you want to live, you'd eat shit and say thank you. You're making fine stitches, I see. I do everything properly. I've had no shortage of men on the garden wharf. One of my grandmothers was a vandal. I have my father's looks and my mother's temper. Though I have to admit my father abandoned me, for my mother was a slave. I'm just grateful that he gave me emancipation documents. What else can you do? You're just looking for company or choosing a wife. If you want a quickie, we'll agree on a price, but I won't marry you. What did I ever do to you? That's always the way, isn't it? Every asshole asks, what did I ever do to you, instead of making an effort to do something nice. If I offered you a finger, you'd take the whole arm, wouldn't you? That depends on the pay. I've heard various things. I think twice if I were you. Even a slave woman's patience has its limits. You're no longer a slave. I'm emancipated. My father gave me freedom, but no money. I guess I should be happy. He let me keep my dress. He gave me my documents, but the Frisian guard took them away for minor misconduct. Banter is nice, but there are other things to do. It's your life, Sorty. I wasn't thinking anything else. And for that I'm thankful. Even a woman like me prefers a true word to one that's kind or rude. The impulsive Pallian is the last person you expect to see lost in thought. Why is so wistful? What troubles you, Roar? You can tell that I'm troubled? It's many things actually. I'd love a skin of Pallian fire water and an agreeable woman without a sword. And the sea. I really miss the sea. What does the sea mean to you? Fire courses through your veins as a Pallian longship of warriors holding oars cuts through the waves. You become possessed by the mania of sea god. You don't feel the cold wind or exhaustion. The sea is life. The sea is far away from here. Thanks for pointing that out. If it wasn't so far away, I'd have already walked to the shore. How I long to wash my feet in salt water, breathe in the sea air, feel the breeze. I know what the sea is, Roar. I've been out there. You've been out to sea, you say. It's like thinking you know vandal women after glimpsing one from a quarter league away. Fat chance, fella. So you have a hard time without agreeable women? Some men want women to scream and resist, but not me. I occasionally cheated to get what I wanted, but I'm not proud of it. Why would you cheat? When you cheat, it's for profit or pleasure, both when it comes to women. Without ladies, I'm lost. I do have to fool them sometimes because they don't like me for what I am. To be completely honest, I don't have enough coins sometimes. How did you plan to kill the Frisian commander? By hitting him on the head with my axe. That's my trade. I frighten off stalkers and help settle all debts. This job just fell into my lap. They issued me a license and promised to pay me well. You can't earn much without a license these days. Weren't you afraid of his guard? There's no reason to be afraid. Imagine you're rowing in the middle of a storm. You're drenched with cold water. Your boat is about to flip over. When's the right time to be afraid? It's stupid to fear the storm before it comes, even more so once it's over. It's the same story with that commander's guard. You must consider the danger. Your abilities may not be enough. Even an icon knows better. I don't know what icons think, but Pallians have a saying, if you're not strong enough, be daring. Pallians are born daring, and the gods gave me an extra helping. It's time for me to go. I hope that you see the sea again, Roar. It's easy as pie. I can pick any brook and walk downstream. Sooner or later it will become a river and rivers flow into the sea. No problem at all. What if the river flows into the great abyss? Then you had a run of bad luck. Shanette is dangerous even out of combat. She's selfish, ruthless, and deceitful. You should get to know her better. You're the only one without hope in your eyes. Are you just following the wind?
Oh,
What good is hope? You want to know the truth? I murdered an important temple servant. I ambushed him and slit his throat in revenge. After that, I got myself into a brawl and they threw me in the dungeon. If not for the reaping, I'd have walked free already. If you don't need hope, what do you fall back on? What suspends a bird in the sky? Nothing. I'm just like that. If you get high enough, you can spread your wings and fly above your troubles. You only need to look down from time to time. If you see some prey, you dive, grab it, rest on a rock, eat it, and then go back to the skies. So you don't have a nest to come back to? What would I do with a nest icon? A stone around the neck is better. Either scenario keeps you from flying away. I consider choosing a different life were it not that all life will soon be gone. If not for you, I'd have been dead already. Where did you learn to fight? So you notice my skills. I studied in the same temple as Candy, but in a different way. I saw her there quite often, mostly on all fours rather than studying. Oh my god. Even when studying, she was ready to spread her legs at any moment. I'm not blaming Candy, just explaining that I'm not like her. Who are you then, Jeanette? I was taught that what Candy learned the hard way, and more. They were saving me for something special, turning me into a killer, a venomous snake. They taught me various tricks and the mysteries of the bedchamber, poisons, knives, special strikes, many things. I was a good student. Why would a temple acolyte need such skills? That I don't know. My mentor said that true power isn't just about strength testation, it's also your sting, and a stinger needs sharpening. Were any of your ancestors icons? What do you care? Are you surprised that icon seed spreads without the written consent of your council of elders? Are you trying to control another man's seed as you do your own? You could acquire protection on the Isle of Shadows. Frisia pales in comparison to what I've heard about your island. Who are you trying to entice, a female breeder or a piece of meat for tempering your blades? Do you believe in those old wives' tales? It's better to overestimate the danger. Such mistakes are more forgiving. That's enough talk. I don't trust you, Jeanette. What good is belief? You can't spread it on bread or wrap it around your shoulders. I see right through you, and I'm happy with what I see. It's useless to seduce you, but you won't betray me. If not for you, Candy would lead them. If she survived without you, that is. Why are you going to Berkana and not to Vandilia? What's in Vandilia for me? I'm Frisian despite the color of my skin. My grandpa was from Baldar, and you know what happened to Baldar. Your fighting style is unusual for a Frisian. I didn't learn my skills in the army. I fought in the temple arenas. I wasn't a lone icon, believe it or not. Temple harlots are allowed to do many things, especially if we disguise our whims with levity. The price of my schooling was real, however. How did you manage to escape the ranks of temple harlots? I gambled, defeating 5 temple servants and winning my freedom. They wouldn't have honored the bargain, but it just so happened that the primer was looking for a reason to take them down a peg. I had obliged. How much did you bet, and where did you get the money? I didn't have any money, so I bet my life agreeing to be tortured on top of it all. The temple servants sharpened their knives, fighting over who'd get to peel off my dark skin. What got you into trouble? Love did, take it or leave it. The temple issued me a bodyguard's license. I was quickly hired and my client started humping me straight away, and I, fool that I was, grew quite fond of his wife. So I put up with him, even though I knew he'd end up paying for it. And did he pay for it? He got off easy. I gave him a quick, nearly painless death, but I didn't turn in the wife who'd set me up. Still, I paid a high price. She turned me in instead, even though she didn't have to. So now I'm here. You're here for another reason, the reaping. Give it a rest, Icon. The reaping is punishment for an ocean of human sins, mine included, even if they are but a drop. Are you a Vandal or Frisian faith? Neither. I believe someone watches over all people, but without a specific purpose. God or gods don't care about us. It'd be even better if they forgot about us completely. You're a free woman, I see. I've always been a free woman, even though I had every orifice subjected to the temple's lechery when I was young. Uh, Nice talk. I want you to know that I am relying on you, Candy. Whether it makes you happy or not, I rely on you too, Icon. It's nice to work without the usual sniveling and whining. When you make camp, Bola's known to pick herbs and brew them in a little pot. Hopefully, she doesn't poison your companions. I see you brew something in a little pot, seasoning it with herbs and ashes. Who's that brew for? Don't worry, Icon, it's not for you. I haven't decided who it is for yet. It's a love potion, but it's not the kind that affects the heart. This one invigorates the loins, and I know what to do about that. I'll learn a thing or two in my time. What if someone else uses your potion? I'll fill a flask and keep it on my chest. Did you mean exploiting the lust of others? I'll give a drop to some rich Burkan, and he can hump whoever he likes, but he'll come back to me for the second drop. Where was your mother from, Bola? I know very little of her. I believe she was a slave from Gebona, but the Gebonans sold her to the girls, so I won't look for family roots in Gebona. A clean past leads to a clean new life. What if someone recognizes you in Barkana? There are potions for that too, but in truth, no one would recognize me. I wouldn't even recognize myself in the mirror. When I changed my name, I severed the last connections to my former life. Where did you learn to wield a spear? A good person taught me that you must do your best to survive. An attacker can wrest a knife from you, and the same is true of the bow and sword. Spears and sticks, on the contrary, are always handy. You can grab a shovel, a hoe, anything goes. You never know what might save your life. Was it a soldier who taught you? It was an old man, a Frisian veteran. I rented a room from him. I didn't bring company there, of course. I cooked him meals in exchange for lessons. I was taken when he died. You can always tell a good teacher by his students, like seeing a room's interior through a clean window. What else can you do? Other than impaling myself on other shafts and impaling the enemy in my spear, are you proposing to me? If you must know, I can do almost anything. Cook, clean, sew and knit, cure simple wounds, set bones, read, write, and bear children. At least I think I can be a mother. I've not tried yet. I'm sure you'll attempt to later. That's what I'm hoping for, not just for the hardship's sake, but to have a living being that reflects my affection. Do you even understand what I'm talking about? Everyone has a mother, not even icons are forged in a smithy. Well, good luck to you, Bola. I could use some luck and patience. A girlfriend of mine taught me to be patient. Imagine being trapped under a rock slide, she said. But if you can't help but rejoice at still being alive. Although truthfully, more often, I felt myself stuck under a filthy sack. As long as you don't end up inside that sack. Alright. Let's continue our journey. The goal is to reach the roaming Menhir. Okay, this is the roaming Menhir. Let's take the Kimra path, a dirt road in the steppe occasionally used by the Kimra to get to the Red Market. So first, a small group of oddly clothed people attracts your attention. The garments were surely made in Barkana. Rather than using the road, they move alongside it, hiding in the hollows and hills. They're not happy to be noticed. Their leader signals, and the strangers quickly take to the road. You're surrounded. All of them are well-armed warriors. Their leader seems fearless but suspicious. He surely isn't familiar with your clothes and appearance. Who are you? He asks. Especially you. What clothes are these? You answer calmly, sure that you'll easily best your opponent in quickness. I'm from the Shadow Clan, an icon. Have you heard of us? This garb is normal for icons. These are my companions. The leader turns, squinting. He thinks his warriors are stronger. I've met not even one, though I've heard rumors. But your land is far away. What's an icon doing on the road from Frisia? What's your business and how'd you get here? Tell him that you're a Frisian nobleman's guard. In this case, I will have to stop your journey, says the stranger with a toothy grin. I can't let a Frisian nobleman's guard go just like that. Kill them. Okay, wrong answer apparently. Alright. I'm gonna take the ancestor swordsman. Alright. Let's start. Alright, so sunburn. Alright. Okay. Again, this movement is kind of trash. Alright, I'm gonna move here. Alright. All right. All right. Okay. Oh! Alright. This fight ended in your favor. The unknown warrior's skill couldn't save them. It's a shame there's no way to learn their identity. Searching the forum didn't yield any clues. Their weapons were unmarked and they had no tattoos or peculiar scars. Not even any wounds. You're left wondering who you crossed swords with. On the other hand, one mystery, more or less, doesn't make a difference. If they won, they also wouldn't know who they were fighting. They didn't win though. Alright, let's continue to Black Obelisk. You see a pregnant Frisian woman lying on the road, unconscious from dehydration and holding an infant. You stop. The child moves, but is too weak to cry. Jeanette winces in revulsion. Such people don't survive. Look at her. She's practically dust. Giving her water is a waste of time. It won't make a difference. The only merciful thing to do is kill her. You examine the woman. She's still breathing but doesn't have much time left. Judging by the wounds on her wrist, she tried to make the child drink her blood. Save the woman. You approach the woman and bring a flask of water to her lips. The water runs down her cheeks until finally she seems to swallow. Take the child and try to make him drink. You tell your companions. Those ready to give a child their blood to drink deserve respect. You grab the woman, lifting her as she swings blindly with a knife. She strikes your shoulder, but she's weak. The blade doesn't even puncture your clothes. You can't help but be amused. You take the weapon, throwing it to the ground. What an idiot. You laugh. Let's bring her to a well. If she clings to life this tightly, she may actually survive. You spend the whole day saving the woman. By journey's end, she's come to her senses. She rises, taking the crying baby back from you, and thanks you for your help. She says that the local witch was killed by the bandits and she fled. She removes trixies and several gold coins from her belt and gives them to you. Oh, nice. Let's continue. You see a Frisian traveler on a dusty road. He can barely put one foot in front of the other. His clothes are torn and his dry lips are cracked. He's clearly suffering from thirst. Your companions start to remove flasks from their beds and offer the poor fellow something to drink. Remind them that water is scarce. Do nothing. You watch the precious liquid fill the traveler's flask. He drinks thirstily and then you speak. When the water runs out, those who gave theirs to the Frisian will go thirsty until we find another source of water. Nobody answers. Maybe this Frisian isn't our enemy, you continue, but you always serve your family before of your neighbors during a fire, even if you think there's plenty of time to save everyone. You move on, but hear a reed shouting behind you. We can't do it, Icon. We're not animals, we're people. You should have understood long ago that humans are more dangerous than animals, you tell her. That's what I've learned, anyway. Alright. We have three options. Monk's Path, Chimera Path, Path of Mercy. Let's take the direct approach. A mostly unused path from the Vale of Mercy to the Triple Menhir, known for its shady valleys where wolves and ghouls lie in wait for careless travelers. The pungent stench of blood, shit, and trails assaults you. Getting closer, you hear people moaning. You reach a narrow valley and see a gruesome sight. About 2,000 Frisians and some other warriors have been staked to the ground, arranged in the shape of giant snake, whose skin pattern is laid out with the victim's intestines. The victims' bellies are cut open, guts pulled out and tied together. Some unfortunate souls are still alive, but they were all alive when the rite was performed. It sickens your companion. You're fixated by the space inside the ghastly serpent's coil. There are 14 blood-soaked boulders. It's clearly vengeance for the death of a rather high-ranking icon. Your companions look at you puzzled. Take a look around. Ignoring your companions, you assess the victims. Those who can still see trash as you approach, drawing their final breaths. As you expected, two icons are among the Frisians. They've been flayed and their sacrificial stones have been cut out, leaving 8 wounds per body. These were warriors of wisdom who were protecting one of the counselors but failed. Does your party need to know this? Keep the story to yourself. No need to kill the ones that are still alive, you tell your companions. They're beyond feeling pain. It's a ritual we shouldn't interrupt. Whoever's responsible is powerful enough to do the same to us. We should get out of here as soon as possible. Ruhr tries to cheer everyone up with an anecdote, but you interrupt him. You tell him to stay alert unless he wants to be gutted like those poor sods. He shuts up. Okay, loyalty decreased, okay. There's a heavily loaded wagon on the road ahead of you, drawn by sluggish mules and guarded by a small band of Frisians. Your presence makes them uneasy. The coachman takes a closer look at you. Goodness gracious, he exclaims. Another one. I saw one of your kind just this past week. You're an icon, right? Of course. All kinds of folks around here these days. Girls, Frisians, Vandil, the Kimra, and now an icon. Ask the coachman about the icon. You take a closer look at the coachman. He smiles, but his eyes are cunning. There are no icons around here. I'd hear about it if some came through. How are you doing for coins, icon? The coachman touches the purse on his belt. I'll bet you a gold coin that your kinsman is staying in our stockade, he says. It's right around the corner. Reed draws closer and whispers, the Frisian is up to something. We'll reach another stockade in a day's journey, but it's got a bad reputation. The coachman lashes his mule. We're heading in the same direction. Care to wager? What do you say? All right, it's a bet, you say with interest. Keep in mind, though, I always collect what's owed. The salty well. You reach the stockade and walk up to the gate, squinting at the tall wall. A fresh corpse hangs among the dried bodies. The victim is a young icon. Your vision darkens for a moment. The sacrificial stones have been cut from his body. His ears, eyes, tongue, and nose have been ripped out. His loins cauterized. The coachman slides off his wagon with a wink. Do you remember our bet? I'll be collecting my gold coins soon. But first, let me open the gate. You hear the coachman yell for the guards to open the gate, but their intent is clear. The guards are going to try and hang you next to the man on the wall. You take a few steps back to make room for a fight. The gate is now open. Where are you going, Icon? Asked the coachman. Why the rush? You'll be hanging on the wall next to your brother soon enough. What a jerk. I'll be collecting, definitely. Alright, I'm going to replace Candy because she's way too slow. I'm going to add Shannon. Alright. Alright, so these two are the most dangerous ones. We have 1, 2, 3 archers, I think. Nice. There you go. Alright. Let's kill this guy. Nice. Oh my god, how much damage. Okay. God. Okay. Afterwards, you find a coachman hiding behind a stockade gate. Open up and collect your winnings, you tell. If you don't, I'll come inside and make you regret opposing me. The shuddering coachman opens the gate and falls to his knees before you, wiping tears from his face. You toss him a gold coin before piercing him with your blade. In the end, a quick death was the best he could expect. You never promised he'd live. You stop before the stockade gate and signal your companions, "Don't follow me, I'm going in alone." You exit a small unpaved courtyard. It will serve your purpose. You inspect the prison and the barracks. They're wooden, also satisfactory. The only problem is the ingrained scent of old blood and feces. That's about to change, though. You approach the awning before the barracks and listen carefully. Yes, there are living souls in this fortress, not prisoners, but guards and executors. They crouch in every corner, vainly trying to hide. You find the fat storeroom clerk in the first room you check. You learn where the sacrificial stones carved from the icon's body are hidden and stash them in a pouch around your neck. After this, you enter the state of complete inner peace. You walk from room to room, transforming the stockade's inhabitants into wheezing, crawling vermin. None accept a quick, merciful death. Instead, they foolishly crawl to the courtyard. You check the prison cells to make sure nobody is held captive there. As for the hard-working torturers, whatever punishment you devise will be much more humane than the things they've done here. Take the icon's body off the wall first. You remove the icon's body from the fortification wall. His nails have been ripped out as if hanging him there weren't enough. Stepping on wheezing bodies, you descend to the yard and trace a layout in the dirt. Then, in the storeroom, you find a decent hammer and hundreds of sharp wooden stakes. You then prepare for a grueling task that you performed once before when a Palian horde massacred the coastal village, accidentally killing an icon fisherman's son. On that occasion, you went easy on their children and simply slayed them. Nothing will be simple now. You drag the living wounded closer together and pin them to the ground with wooden stakes. They writhe in pain but are unable to scream. The worst is yet to come. Slicing their bellies open, you arrange their intestines to form the pattern of a great serpent skin. Each sacrifice honors the ship that saved your people. Your companions are horrified. They stare they stare at your hands already clean and the smoke rising behind you. They didn't see what you did, but they didn't have to. A wave of terror from the boisterous, crucified, disemboweled, and immolated is so powerful that it affects even you. You just smile. Let's get going. Wow. Gruesome. The itching inside the icon's patterns makes you grind your teeth in pain and scratch your scars. It could be the reaping, magic, the ubiquitous salt in the air, or the recent journey through the igneous desert. On top of everything else, the Strixes absorb your fatigue and burn themselves out. You see a man ahead loaded with goods and money. He looks like a merchant, but his clothes aren't those of a man with means. Ask the merchant if he has anything for sale. The merchant readily drops his sack to the dirt. I have many goods. Don't be fooled by my looks. They keep the bandits away. I have many useful things. Okay, what do you have? A snake totem? A bear totem? Oh, a moonshine. That's good. I'm gonna take this. gonna give the moon merchants to Janet. Alright.
Oh. Ugh.
Deadly jab. Okay, that's it. Let's continue. Yes, we're going to take the monk's path. Yep. We don't want to lose any more time. This game is time sensitive. Reed tells you that she knows what it cost you to give her the stone that saved her. You don't reply. Your stone absorbed the curse and died, she adds as she leaves. I don't know how the stones die, but that's how it felt. It's just a streaks now. This magic is very powerful, Icon. As she leaves, you remember the price you paid for the stone. Only the best have them. You needed to win to rise to the top and defeated warriors your age and older. In retrospect, those battles seem more terrifying than the ones you fight now. Reminiscence. As they put you on the altar and prepare to insert another sacrificial stone into your flesh, you close your eyes, more to avoid seeing the friends you killed and mutilated for this moment, than to avoid seeing the rite itself. It doesn't help. The real question is, were they really your friends? Didn't they try to give you a taste of your own medicine? Why? Being momentarily drunk on power coupled with the inescapable horror of humiliation? Or maybe you wanted to feel this red-haired woman's piercing gaze on your back. You hear Kama muttering something under his mask. Listening closer, you can tell that he's singing. It's the temple hymn that amazed you when Reed sang it, but it sounds much quieter coming from Kama. The answer senses your interest. You decide to talk to him. The lullaby my mother used to sing for me is all I have left. Fortunately, she didn't live long enough to see me in a mask and my world covered in flames. How many years have you worn the mask? If 1 year here also lasts 300 days, it'd be 5 years. But I wasn't mad when I put it on. It was a sign of valor. There were many who sought admission to the sacred hunt. There was talk about the end of the world. We were the ones to delay it. But you couldn't do it, could you? My world was enveloped with flame during its final hours. Many things became evident when the sacred stones appeared. Why would the gods build obelisks of protection? And protection from what? They're gods, but the madness leaves little doubt. Do you think the same fate awaits our world? Do you ponder fate while in battle? You just fight. How does anyone fight the gods? You can't go wrong by fighting your enemies. How do you fight? However you can. Whom did the sacred hunt target? The people, those called heretics, those renegades who hadn't gone mad and fought us wearing black painted masks, those who tried to destroy the sacred stones thinking that they were the source of all woes. Did you kill them? Yes, we tried to do that near the Menhirs. They demanded blood. It was like a voice controlling us. But the sacred stones were insatiable. The lands around the fingers of the gods became practically deserted. What made you believe in the end of the world? There were many signs. The sun grew brighter and brighter, burning everything out. The plague changed poor folks' throats and wrists. Most importantly, many changed into monsters, the spawn of the abyss. We massacred entire villages if we saw just one of them. But it didn't help you. Nobody thought about that. Even after we got here, we kept doing as the voice told us. We filled the sacred stones with power and became the embodiment of evil. The poison that kills whoever touches it isn't harmful to us. So the evil brought you here. I'm not sure it was evil. Now, when the fog inside my head lifted, I think there was more than one voice. You could hear a choir under the burnt skies, and under the hateful racket you could hear something else, a plea, admonished and remorse. Were there always only voices? No, we saw the Umbra heralds the same year the Menhirs appeared. They put rings on our fingers and taught us how to use lances, the flying swords they brought with them. That's when we stopped taking our masks off. Did those Umbra look like people? They looked how they pleased. The sun shone through their bodies. There were moments it seemed as if they weren't even there, but their touch when they taught us was stronger than that of the mightiest warrior. Did the Menhirs give them strength? No, not then. They told us that the gods themselves live in their bodies, nurturing them. They said that the gods saw through their eyes, touched us with their hands. We wept tears of joy when we heard it. Haven't you tried killing those Umbra? Others did. Our enemies wore black masks. But as far as I know, no one succeeded. The Umbra had to deal with some internal conflicts though. They didn't die in the end. They're incorporeal beings. So if the Umbra fought each other but the gods nurtured them, does that mean the gods opposed each other? That's what I think about constantly. What if my burning world was the gods' battlefield? Where are they? Where are they then? Do you no longer hear voices? I hear breathing like a mighty warrior's being crushed under a mountain and can't awaken. It's terrifying. Someone else has been in charge here, right? The Umbra, they met us near the stone. They prophesied a quick victory and then vanished. They appeared in blaze of power. You call them reapers. Alright, I won't bother you with conversation. As you wish, you don't have to talk here or even listen if you choose not to. You continue your journey until you sense an enchantment on the road ahead. It feels like a brewing thunderstorm, but the skies above are clear and still. You stop and scan the horizon for any sign of danger. It almost feels as if there's a battle raging nearby. If so, you'd be happy to avoid it. Reed picks up on your anxiety. There's a sanctuary nearby. Gillian shamans wasted many strixes there, soaking them in the victim's blood in an attempt to make more. That's why that place attracts the Anses. And when you say Anses, think the Kimra. Outside of Riptime, you almost never see Anses, but I visited this place a couple of times. It's not on any map, but it can't be more than 3 leagues away now. You rack your memory for something relevant you may have read in the ancient manuscripts. However, it seems that you'll need help finding the solution. Ask Reed's opinion of the menace. Reed looks at you confused. What danger are several Gillian daughters? She asks with a shrug. They've got no magic, no weapons, but if you really want to avoid that place, you can head slightly to the north. Ask Alus' opinion of the menace. Alus also trembles with a fear he can't explain. He suggests that you skirt the sanctuary from the south because he's used to circumventing trouble from that direction. Ask Candy's opinion. Candy doesn't share your anxiety. I've never been to these parts before, but I haven't heard of any hocus pocus either. It's better to stay on the road if you ask me. Less chance of stumbling. Keep moving in the same direction. You stick to your chosen road despite the growing feeling of menace. Danger seems to lurk behind every hillock. Your heart thumps in your ears as if you were a callow youth, not a warrior of peace. However, the feeling of menace finally melts away after several hours. Alright, we did not lose anything. The road goes through an abandoned Gallian village. The ancestral towers are in ruins and the gardens are abandoned. A young Frisian shovels earth near the roadside altar. There are several sacks, a street merchant's cart, and a chest that hawkers carry on their shoulders. You shake your head. There is no worse act for an icon than disturbing the ashes of the deceased. It's strange. The Shadow Clan is different to the fates of strangers, but is quick to ensure their fallen rest peacefully. It might be because after that we are all mixed in the cauldrons of the gods. At least that's what the temple servants say. Kill the marauder. You put the marauder to death and throw both his body and the merchant's possessions into an open grave. Using things stolen from the dead is desecration, no matter who does it. There are no people on Terminum who approve of grave robbing. Your companions whisper in approval behind you. Okay, we got 10% morale. You stop at a pole located at the crossroads. The colorful patches hanging from it indicate that the Kimra frequent this place. You know that you find as Reed approaches. Reed looks around worriedly, then shows you a large bare spot on the ground and a trail that bends around it. That's right, Icon. It's the Kimra path. Even though it's hard to meet them here, a wandering Menhir should appear. You just need to lure it. Here is the trail. Ask about waiting for a Menhir. You try to understand the reason for Reed's unease. How quickly is it going to appear? Does it appear every time? What's the best way to lure it? Reed looks back, catches your eye and approaches. Okay. You look at Reed and feel what you felt when she sang in Wodan. It is indescribable. She does not sing now. She has something important to say. This is the place. The shortcut begins here. When the roaming Menhir appears, we'll douse it with blood and it will transport us to the Menhir near your home. How soon will the Menhir appear? It's usually revealed by now, but sometimes you have to wait. Weapons, armor and all? We have no carts stacked with loot. We'll keep everything we carry. How much blood do we need to spill? I can't tell for sure. The reaping changes everything. Before, a palmful from each warrior was enough. Is there any other way? There's no other shortcut. From here, the Kimra would normally travel to the reclining Menhir nearby, but something very gruesome is going on. It's been a year since the Frisians let anyone near that Menhir. I think that's where the Inquisitors were sending us. The Menhir can be lured out. Death may attract it, but it will also anger its Menhir guardian. What do you think? Who is this guardian? Not one of the Kimra. He's master of these lands. He has no castle or army save for the bandits in the Vale of Mercy, and they're just a diversion. He serves the roaming Menhir. What exactly are you going to do? Wait for the Menhir to appear. If it does not appear by the end of the day, I would say that there is no shortcut. Reed tries to say something, but you silence her. More talk is unnecessary. Having considered the situation at hand, you summon Reed. You should spill blood. Reed speaks up. When the reaping began, everything changed. We must leave the plain, but the roaming Menhir might not appear in time. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what it will take to lure it out. All I know is that blood must be spilled. Jeanette grins wickedly. There is a burden in every party, and ours is no exception. Let's get rid of it and make use of the free blood. Jeanette draws her sword. She is poised to run Alus through, but a shot of Kama's flying blade knocks the weapon from her hand. The ancestor struggles to speak the foreign tongue. Victim not needed. There is enemy coming here. We will fight the girls. Oh my god, so Jeanette was ready to kill Alus. What a bitch. Alright. I am going to take Sorti instead. Alright. That's it. No. Okay, I'm going to kill you. Okay. Okay. Ouch. So these guys have a lot of energy. Alright. I think we are done with this fight. Okay, we got a new card, Miraculous Healing, Add a small bag of herbs. While resting, hits 2 levels of injury per day. Gold and 50 strixes. The newly appeared Menhir is giant, so big it could crush an entire Frisian legion. Strange that you did not notice the moment it appeared. Reasonable then that travelers think the roaming Menhir is a mirage. It hovers above the ground. Reed is downcast. Here it is, but its guardian is missing. Very bad sign. I cannot help you, Icon. I must prepare the shortcut. You look around. Help? With what? Are the girls not all dead? Reed shakes her head and insists. I can sense them already. They flock to the menhirs like bees to flowers. Prepare to fight. You close your eyes for a moment and indeed sense a looming danger. The masked warriors who appear by the stones at Reed time must be close. Alright, another fight. Let's see. The Great Healing increases health by 5 to all enemy units and increases health by 10 to all party members. Okay. I'm not sure I want that. We can level up. There you go.
No.
There you go. There you go.
Ugh.
All right. Okay, so Reed is not in the fight. So I'm going to take Ruor with me. No, I'm going to take Candy. I know she's slow. At 8. There you go. And an Etchi. There you go. Oh, okay. 28, 27, 23. Alright. Yeah. Okay, the guy is stunned and the fight is over. Turning around again, you see a stranger standing next to Reed in the Menhir shadow. His stern face is that of a warrior or a seasoned traveler. He must be the guardian Reed mentioned. The stranger looks you up and down, motionless, like the very rock he protects. His expression does not bode well, but a third battle might be the charm. Not to the stranger. Either the stranger did not see it or he did not interpret your nod as a greeting. Nevertheless, he keeps staring at you. You slowly realize that he is a warrior, a deadly one, even for an icon. What? Oh, I thought we will fight him, but we are not. Jeanette beams as if she is about to get married. Perhaps you should have a word with her. Why are you so pleased with yourself? Happy you did not commit murder? I'm pleased in general. Life's short, icon. You should seek pleasure whenever you can. You must show more temperance. Recklessness and hesitation can be equally deadly. You know I could kill you. It's probably the wisest thing you could do, though not the most pleasant. Here, take this gold for the communal purse. I kept it for myself, but I'll spare you the necessity of searching my corpse. What are you playing at, Jeanette? Why did you escape Wodan if you seek death? Is there something I should know? Make a guess, Icon. Why would a young lass tear her life apart? Maybe it was torn apart long ago. Even the grisliest of wounds heal. Sometimes, yes, but the scars remain. If you have too many, the pain cries to be relieved, and it never fades. Do you believe in finding relief in another's pain if it is greater than yours? To each his own. People find relief their own way, get drunk their own way, breathe their own way, and die their own way. Jeanette, remember that death can come from any side when you summon it in a crowd. Aldous can barely breathe after what happened. He clenches his teeth, his hands trembling. You move to reassure him. I've almost recovered and I'm deeply grateful to the answer for saving me. For a moment there, I thought they both wanted to chop me up. You should thank Kama. I already thanked him. In advance, I'm also teaching him Barkanan since we're heading to Barkana. Might be the only reason he saved me. Do you hear me, Kama? You fought against your own brethren. I would never fight other icons. You would if your brethren began to kill all those around them. If they went mad, if they tried to kill you, you would. It is not my brothers I fought. It was the ones who devoured my world. Who destroyed your world? I know not. When I could still hear, I heard that a mad god did it. But I cannot be certain. There was the sun that burned everything and poison falling like rain. I am trying to understand, Kama. What drives you? Is it your duty, your fate, repentance? Why did you rush to Alo's defense? Why did you stop Jeanette? Out of mercy? Mercy required time I did not have. I did not want a stupid death, that is all. This menhir is clean, and only a clean menhir can open path. A dirty one leads to a quick death. Blood taken by force is unclean. You knew about this? True, but I acted as in a fog, as if I was drunk. Now my eyes are open, I understand the truth. Spilling innocent blood is a quick way into the abyss, nowhere else. Wisdom, that is what drives me. What do you talk about with Reed? About me and who I am now, about time and how much of it I have, how much the world has. Reed is wisdom. Who are you now? An ancient outcast, a tribeless warrior, a former assassin, a soldier in an unlikely army. Reed saved me. I do not understand everything, but I know she saved me. She pulled me from a dark enchantment. I hope neither one of you is mistaken. Unlike armor, spells cannot be seen, can they? They are not visible to the naked eye. I can see the magic of the stones in your flesh, Icon. They impart great strength. The menhirs are much like the stones, but they are set into the flesh of your world instead. I am a part of that. How much time do you have? As long as the reaping lasts, perhaps less. We feed on the power of the menhirs, but not because we cannot eat food. The spells binding us need the power of the menhirs. Those same spells kill us when the reaping ends. These spells cannot be broken. The longer the reaping, the longer your life. Rich told me of the Kimra. It would seem they are my people too. I believe her. She has given my life purpose. I shall not allow the reaping to conclude by ending this world. How much time does this world have? I do not know. It is not as bad as it was in my world yet, but it does not take long for water to boil over flames. If the one who destroyed my world comes here, it will be over quickly. Will you sense his arrival? I believe I will, as will you, but you would not recognize him, as if being on the scaffold and hearing the executioner's axe cleave the air before your neck. We will talk again, Kama, if our fates are willing and our fortunes align. We share the same fortune, Kama. Alright, we have some level ups. Oh yeah. Walking in health. Bola. Yes, health.
Huh. Ooh.
There you go. Kama. Yeah, that's it. Let's talk to the Guardian. Orkan, it's a good idea to ask the determined stranger what brought him here. If this manner creates a shortcut, the stranger is likely a gatekeeper. You could ask him how to use it if it even exists. This is Orkan icon. He looks after the roaming Menhir, making sure he doesn't absorb the taint. He'll help us, but I'll need to weave the enchantment myself. The reaping changes everything, Icon. You have Reed with you, so I'll help her and make sure you're not transported to your death. However, be prepared to suffer somewhere unexpected, though I promise I'll get you where you need to go. You'll have to shed a little blood, not the ultimate price, nor is it a redemptive act. Is there anything else you wish to know? How does one kill a reaper? Why do you wish to know? To oppose the reaper, will you challenge the strongest of the powerful? Do you hunger for glory, or are you nursing wounded pride? You are right. I know a bit about it. Hundreds of years ago, 14 stone knives were fashioned, each as powerful as a small menhir. The chance to use them against the reapers never came. Still, the price for them was high. The Ashen Wasteland is proof of that. At the Battle of Drowsy Deep, 12 Kuros, runaway servants of the gods, had to kill themselves with these stone knives. There was no other way to stop the 5 reapers that stood against them. One knife remained with Blance, the 13th Kuro. Another was stolen. These knives are a sure way to kill a reaper, despite never being tested for that purpose. Where will this shortcut take me? To another menhir down south. Is that not where you're headed? What keeps the stone afloat? A wise man once said, it's not a roaming menhir that soars, but the earth that sinks. Both have been trying to reach for each other ever since. I say we can move on. Give it a bit of time. The stone has to cool down. Orkan walks in circles around the menhir while Reed scratches designs on the ground. You could talk to her. What are you drawing? What troubles you? Do you think Orkan might trick us? I should appease existence and reassure Orkan. It's almost a sign. He's very cautious. The reaping is dire news for him, just as it is for all of Terminum. One day his service may come to an end. What do we have to do? Cup your hand and fill it with your blood. Stand under the stone and place your bloodied palm to it. Anywhere is fine. Then wait till I touch it. What are we going to see? Nothing. One kind of darkness will stand in for another. When it dissolves, we'll be far from here. What are we going to feel? I do not know. Before, I didn't feel anything, but that wasn't during Rip time. How much more time do you need? Just a few moments. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Sorty looks stunned and rubs her neck, paying no attention to the soaring menhir. Has the plague robbed her of her senses? Are you feeling worse? Why are you rubbing your neck? Quite the opposite. It's not hurt a bit since the Menhir appeared. Too bad the ulcer's still there. The pain will return. Wish I could stay with the Menhir, but Orkan is quite intimidating, and if I die, I'd rather die by your side. Why would you want to die by my side? Because if I die by your side, I'd know that was the only option. If it were anyone else, I'd be afraid of dying far less nobly. Let me tell you something else. Look closely at Rit. It could be the color of her eyes or their shape. Can't put my finger on it, but she could be Orkan's daughter, or granddaughter, or great-granddaughter. You have to admit that the girl is right. There is a slight resemblance. Is that not a good reason to trust Orkan? Okay. So Rit might be Orkan's daughter. Okay, I don't think we have anyone else to talk to. No upgrades. If you are done here, you can simply wait until preparations are complete. Orkan lifts his hand. You approach the Menhir, appreciating its mass. Up close, it seems far from weightless. Orkan raises his hand. When you mirror his gesture, he cuts his palm and clasps hands with everyone in turn. Ask Orkan whose blood he needs. Orkan chuckles. Mine is sufficient. It's only human blood, regardless of what you may think. Your blood is needed elsewhere. Save it for now. You stand transfixed. In a flash, you see into the heart of a steppe roamer, 1,000 years of pain and longing. He puts an arm around Reed's shoulder, pressing his other hand against the stone next to where the girl has hers. Palm up. You do the same. Good, Orkan says before hurling you into darkness. Whatever happens, protect Reed, Icon, you hear Orkan say as darkness envelops you. Oh, fight. Alright, let's fight. It's as if the veil covering you since you touched the Menhir has lifted. Chilly air nips at your cheeks on a mountain ledge at a place where the road bends. Several astounded girls unsee their swords before you. Damn you, Icon, Candy cries, as if being thrown out into the snow wasn't enough. We practically landed on the enemy's blades. You draw your swords. You should deal with this unexpected obstacle before forging on. Oh, these are quite powerful. Alright, I'm going to put you here, you here, you here. Alright. I'm going to kill these two. Alright. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ooh. That's a lot of damage. I need to kill this guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. What? What? Why do you attack me if you're stunned? Jesus. Fine. Let's kill this guy. Alright, you're dead too. Okay. Okay. I need to kill this guy. What? Oh, I need fiber energy. That's not good. That's not good. Oh, come on. Ouch. Well, I think you are dead now. Rancor. got another card. You stand motionless. The battle is over. The girls have lost. Blood staining the frozen rocks crunches underfoot. As the heat of battle passes, the bitter cold tightens its thorny embrace. You survey the area. I have forgotten what the snow and cold feel like. You have beautiful mountains here. Everything else fits. There is a metallic taste in my mouth. It is what a pathway should feel like. We're somewhere on the edge of the Valley of Mercy. We should leave before we visit that. I know not why we emerge here. I know of no menhirs in these parts. It might be something with power equal to a menhir, though. Wait, we're not the only ones led astray. These are ants' footprints. What could be as powerful as a menhir? Maybe a new menhir for here. It is a question few temple servants can answer. It could be something that belonged to a god, a weapon perhaps, or a piece of jewelry, even a god itself, or a reaper. Orkan could have been more precise. He could have at least warned us. I thought he liked you. Whatever has drawn the answers here has lured us too. It is quite curious. Orkan has naught to do with it. We should try to find our way. That's what I'm doing. We've hit a dead end. I know not what girls are doing here, but there's only one choice now. We'll have to follow the ancestors' tracks. A treacherous path leads to the snow-powdered ruins of an ancient temple. A shack is nestled in the midst of them. There is no menhir or altar in sight, but you can immediately tell the decrepit hut is inhabited, and that a group of ancestors blocks your way, ready for battle. Okay, Rancor. Reduces attack by 5 and increases attack by 1 to all surrounding units. Interesting. Let's level up. More damage is always good. More attack. Let's add grit. Alright. Oh wow. Wow. Alright. Damage. That's exactly how much I need. Okay, I think it's over. There you go. Burning souls. Lots of battles. No sooner do you lower your sword, did you notice a middle-aged woman with white hair standing in the hovel's doorway. She emanates unmistakable power and she looks vaguely familiar. Dear gods, she's a seeress. I told you about her once, remember? Her white hair is legendary. They say she knows the answer to all questions. If you want to talk to one woman, don't go whispering to another, even if you're an icon, especially if you're a warrior of peace, though I doubt that a warrior of peace could have made it here. You must be really anxious to find me. My girls are no more, is that right? Who are you? Why do you look familiar? My name is Amma, not that it means anything to you. As for my face, I'll tell you why it looks familiar, but later, when the time is right. Do you think we have much time? Are you a seeress? As I said, my name is Amma. I can be a seeress, I can be a healer. Some call me a witch, but most of the time I'm just a woman who wants to be left alone. Oh, nice. We just healed Jeanette. I have heard that fortune tellers give vague answers that are open to many interpretations. You are no fortune teller, that much is clear, but how can you be a seeress or healer without another living soul around? Living souls pester me from time to time. To be fair, they are easily turned into souls of the dead, like today. Well, while you still breathe, ask away. I'll do my best to live up to the Kimran tales that allege me to be a seeress. How long will the reaping last? What can I say about the road yet traveled? I'll answer you once I've gotten a taste of the reaping. One cannot foresee all that is. What are girls doing here, Amma? It was my card icon. I wanted to keep it away from the answers, but I miscalculated. I do not regret losing it. I wasn't planning to go anywhere, but the sight of you and your red-haired companion makes me reconsider. Where will you go? To Opakum. It's a fortress on the far side of the Milky Mountains. There's a Menhir there, but Orkan's will isn't going to get you there. That Menhir is dead. You will escort me to it by the paths of the Vale of Mercy and Vandal Forest. What is there in Opacom for you? I know not. It's difficult to see one's own future. The fortress will see its share of misery, but the reaping is not all powerful there. Don't remain dispassionate. Haven't you heard of the mastery spiral? Be like a callow youth. Experience joy and sorrow. Remember to breathe peacefully. You will accompany me. We set out soon. Before we leave, I'll tell you why you cannot refuse. Have no doubt. Alright. I think this is a good spot to end this episode, which was a bit longer, but we had several battles to finish, so we will continue next time with Lo Pheng, and we'll probably learn a bit more about Armada series. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you in the next episode. Take care, bye bye.